And as you know, our show focuses on technology, innovation, and disruption. And the most controversial topic these days is technology. We saw a heated debate between two leading entrepreneurs on the impact of AI on our lives. So, to help us understand about newer technology and how it impacts us, my colleague Rahul Dayama spoke with Atul Jalan. He's an entrepreneur, science storyteller, and a futurist, and author of a book, Where Man Will Take Us.
Something I start off by asking you also, what was this trigger? You're an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur at that. What was this trigger, so to say, to look at this book and also a book on the impact of technology? Of course, who better than you who've sort of played across technologies in your field, but why and what was the trigger really?
I think, Rahul, life has changed. We all agree that more in last 10, 15 years than previous 75. And I think life would change even more in next 10, 15 years than maybe previous 250. We and the technologies that we have created has made this the most transformative era, and I may add the most romantic age in our 200,000 year history. I think we stand on a cusp of a major change, this time too brought to us by our technologies. This time technologies of AI, of genetic engineering, of nanotechnology, of quantum computing. And I think it is not only this confluence and force of technology, technology always reshapes our way of life. Think about how fire, wheel, steam engine, electricity, telephone, Google have shaped our way of life. I could see these changes like everybody else, but I thought have a vantage position being involved into technology myself, and I could help through this book. I could help connect the dots and maybe help people see what I see.
Got it. But technology is all pervasive as we talk about, as much so now for the millennial generation who's hooked to technology in so many more ways. So there is a downside to it, of course, and which you sort of will elaborate on. But, the larger question, not many of us who use technology ask us, where will this lead us? If it sort of brings that convenience on, all questions, all other answers are sort of closed by.
So you're saying, technology is a great question. I always believe that technology is amoral. Technology doesn't have a morality of its own, right? You can use a knife to cut a salad, a Gordian knot, or if you don't like me enough, me. Okay, so I think why this question is great is because we need to have a lot of intelligent dialogue. We have not yet come to terms. We are still very ambivalent, in terms of relationship with, let's say, genetically modified foods. Now the genetically modified babies, designer babies, are reality. They're not science fiction. They're not lab projects. There are applications out there. So we would need to have dialogue. I was saying technology is going to also reshape our sense of morality and ethics. Okay, so I am not fearful. I remain uber optimistic about these changes. But yes, if we don't control the vector of this change, then we'll get just dragged in its wake.
But what's your sense? What are those 2 or 3? I know it's sort of difficult to put a number, but those tech trends that you really will see stand out and impact humanity in a large way in the coming years, those 2 or 3 distinctive trends really.
Great. So say 4.
Yeah,
if that's a good number.
Take it 4.
One is genetic engineering. I think with tools like CRISPR and Cas9, which are molecular scissors, if you will, we have developed the ability to edit our genes. Our genes contains the script of our life. Okay, and I think that changes a lot. That changes everything. So far, our evolution has been nature-led, environmental factors and so on. Therefore, it has been random and probabilistic. Okay, with this ability, in the future, the evolution could be designed deterministic. I think that changes a lot. We will be able to weed out, program out, if you will, disease, pain, old age, and eventually death. There are already venture-funded organization in US, in Bay Area, working on not only giving you a longer lifespan, but working on solving for death.
But as much as we'd want them to crack it, they're still not able to sort of...
But look, I know one thing about science, technology, that in short term, maybe there's so much of hope and hype that builds up, we expect a lot. Okay, and maybe you can look at internet also, version 1.0, everybody thought it was a fad. You know how internet has changed lives. I think in long term what we miss is, we miss to appreciate the transformative powers of technology. So the old age is, the death part may come 10 years, 20 years, maybe it may not be useful in your and my lifetime, at least in my lifetime. Rahul, I'm sure you'd love to be immortal. But look, in context of history and humanity and so on, 10, 20, 30 years is just a blip, right?
Got it, got it. You know, while you'll go on, it's also a very controversial topic, right? Technology, everyone has their own view on how this will really come by. Also, experience speaks for itself, yes, I agree. But we've seen the biggest technology tycoon, so to say, Elon Musk, Jack Ma, both differ completely, take opposite views on the same thread. So this continues to remain a very controversial, a very differential topic, so to say, among the masses also.
Understandable. Something which is as profound as this, changing us inside out, and definitely carving out a new way of life, that people would have a different view on what that new would look like, is totally understandable, right? So I don't think, personally, I may have leaning towards one particular belief system or point of view or the other, but I don't think anything is anybody's wrong here.
Everyone is sort of
because everybody's coming from their vantage point, from their foundation of knowledge, to look at what future holds. Okay, I have mine.
Got it. But you know, coming to jobs, it's been such an overrated topic to discuss in terms of technology. Even while we discuss, we've seen those disruption over the last 20 years with the advent of internet. Now everyone's talking about robots and AI. Traditional IT companies sort of have to reject their business models. You at Manthan are sort of on the path as far as the revolution is concerned. So are we reading in too much into what the disruption will come by on the jobs front, really?
Not really. I don't think that the press or in general, the matter is being understated or overstated. I think the change is coming. By all studies out there, 70% of our current jobs would disappear in next 10, 15 years.